Welcome at Asia Auto Ambassador. We are in Portugal. I'm Bernd from Germany and today I present to you an all-new car coming from Japan. This is the new Mazda CX-60, the largest SUV the Japanese brand will be offering in Europe and Asia. This is a plug-in hybrid vehicle and today we are taking the CX-60 for a first test ride and I hope you join me. Mazda is expanding its global SUV lineup. If you're watching from the US, you might know the CX-50, a car that won't be available here in Europe. However, we get the CX-60. This is the first Mazda based on the new large platform called Architecture for vehicles with rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive systems. In addition to the CX-60, we will get the CX-80 with a 7-seat option. However, in the US, there will be an upcoming CX-70 and 90. The vehicles will be slightly larger. Coming back to the CX-60 that comes to market here in Europe by mid of this year. It starts as a plug-in hybrid with a 2.5-liter petrol engine that delivers 191 horsepower. This is more or less the same engine that's already available in the Mazda CX-5. Here in the plug-in hybrid, it works as a team with a 100 kilowatts or 136 horsepower electric motor, and the system power output is 327 horsepower. The maximum torque 500 Newton meters, so that means this is by far the most powerful Mazda ever produced so far. The car measures 4 meters and 75 in length. You see the design with the A-pillars, the design really demonstrates that this is a rear-wheel drive car. It looks quite upmarket, quite premium, I guess, and for me it reminds me a little bit of the Maserati Levante. Let me know your opinion. The battery pack is based in the floor of the car between the axles. It measures 17.8 kilowatt hours. And the net capacity is around 14.5 kilowatt hours. According to the European the worldwide WLTP cycle, Mazda promises an electric-only range of 63 kilometers. In addition to the plug-in hybrid, by the way, Mazda is preparing the all-new inline-six-cylinder engines. There will be a diesel with 2 power output options, a turbo diesel and a Skyactiv X called gasoline engine with 6 cylinders. They will both come in 2023 and 2024. You saw the design of this car colored in the color called Soul Red Crystal. We've got the Homura spec version here with black wheels and a lot of details in body color. So the trim levels are known from other Mazdas, as is the design. The car looks like the bigger brother of the CX-5. Maybe for some people it doesn't look too modern or maybe not innovative enough. However, in my opinion, it's a very good addition to the current lineup, and people who want to step up from the CX-5 find a nice alternative here. The boot measures 570 liters. We've got a removable floor here, some additional storage or small storage compartment underneath. Here is the subwoofer of both the sound system. There are power outlets, and you can release the seats, and then the bench or the backrest of the bench folds down to, of course, increase the loading capacity. And if you want to tow a trailer, you can do that with a trailer up to 2,500 kilograms of weight. And this is really an advantage of the CX-60 plug-in hybrid, because other plug-in hybrids or hybrid vehicles such as the Honda CR-V, for example, have a far lower towing capacity. We now start the check of the interior, and then we start our test drive. As an option for the CX-60, there's a package available that includes electrically adjustable seats with ventilation and heating, and an electrically adjustable steering wheel. This is both needed for the driver personalization system. That means up to 6 driver profiles can be saved in the vehicle. This is, for example, thought for company cars and colleagues or family members are sharing a vehicle. So I can activate that system, add a new driver. I want to add a new driver. Yes. So I select my height, and then there's a camera that detects the position of your eyes. Therefore you need to remove sunglasses, etc. And now the system starts. The steering wheel and the seat are moving. Okay, and this is the recommended ideal position. For my personal well-being, I'm sitting too far in the back of the car, so I need to adjust the seat like 10 centimeters, 8 centimeters more into the front. I want to sit a little bit deeper. Steering wheel is okay, so I still need to adjust my driver position, and I adjusted that now and saved it, and then the system detects me as driver number 3, or I can even choose a name, and the whole system can adjust not only the seating position but also the preferred temperature of the climate control or radio station, for example. You watched me adjusting the driver's seat into my individual seating position, and this is for me the chance to also take a look of how is it behind my imaginary self in my height of 1.92 meters. The room here is okay, but it's not generous. So there are mid-sized SUVs that offer larger legroom. However, I still fit good here into the second row. The seats themselves are quite high, so I like the position of the bench, and also my feet fit under the seat. This is quite comfortable. Here we've got the seat heating for the outside seats. These come as an option together with the personalization system. Then we have air vents, 2 USB power sockets, and a 220 volt power socket as well. There's an armrest with 2 cup holders here in the middle, and if you have small kids, you might use kid seats with the ISOFIX system. The ISOFIX cassettes are reachable here, very good. I like that. The black leather upholstery, by the way, comes as a standard equipment with the Homura coil trim level. The Takumi, the other high-end model, carries a white leather upholstery. Here in the door panel we've got plastics with silver inlets and also some leather, artificial leather, I don't know. And it all looks nice and is well crafted. We're moving back into the first row because now we will have a look into the cockpit. The exterior design is quite evolutionary, and the same applies for the cockpit design. If you are used to a Mazda 3 or Mazda CX-30, CX-5, you will definitely consider this as your new home immediately. We've got a large display here, which by the way is not a touchscreen. If you use Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, the smartphone application, you can use these menus with a touchscreen, but only if the vehicle is parked. All other functions and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, once the vehicle is moving, can only be controlled by this controller here in the center console. And this is for a reason, of course. You've got the knob here, you can maneuver through the menu, you push it and you make your choice. There's a back button, you go back to the main menu and so on. And there is no system which is more intuitive, and there's no distraction while driving. Once again, a system like this with an additional knob here for the audio volume and audio control is by far the best thing to have an infotainment system in a car that has no distraction, and I strongly recommend that to other car manufacturers as well. BMW at the moment is, I guess they are trying to fade out the iDrive controller. BMW once invented that with the 7 Series, and Mazda is still using it. And I thank Mazda very much for that. Here we've got the shift-by-wire controller, or the gear shifter of the 8-speed automatic transmission, and then there are buttons, for example, for the rear view cameras. You have the picture in the display then. Looks like this, and here we've got the climate control as physical buttons, so all easily understandable and easily adjustable. With the Homura trim level, there comes black leather upholstery here in the cockpit. The steering wheel is known from other Mazda models as well, and behind the steering wheel there's something new, a full digital instrument cluster. Here we see the color scheme of the EV mode, and when I switch to sport mode, for example, then there's another color scheme, but there's no really the opportunity to change the layout. With a knob on the steering wheel, I can, you see it on the right side, can here adjust the information that's shown to me, like trip computer and so on. And if I use the driving assistance systems, then they are shown here in the center of the display. There's a head-up display as well that projects its information directly on the windscreen. However, the camera won't see that here now, but at least you see some nice view of the seaside we are at the moment. That's it from the cockpit. I'm curious how the Mazda CX-60 is driving, and I guess you are too, so let's start our test drive. We start our test drive in the EV mode. That means that the car drives electrically as long as there's enough energy in the battery and as long as I do not push the pedal to the metal, which I do just now. Then the combustion engine starts its work, of course. If you need to accelerate, for example, while overtaking, that makes sense. The full power output of 327 horsepower and 500 Newton meters of torque will only come in the sports mode, of course. Then the car is quite agile. And it's a nice driver's car. And together with that comes almost stiff suspension when you travel in the city at city speeds on roads that are not perfect. It's really stiff, and the steering needs both hands, so it's not too soft. I like it. The car says to you, take care of me, and then I will bring you wherever you want to go to, and in a quite comfortable way. The seating position is nice, the outlook is good. We've got the door mirrors mounted at the doors and not here at the window, and the A-pillars are not that thick, so it's also easy when you drive in the city and you turn into another road. All is quite visible. Talking about technical data, 5.8 seconds is the acceleration from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in sports mode. The top speed is 200 kilometers per hour, that's electronically limited. And in the pure EV mode, you can drive up to 140 kilometers per hour. Charging can be done with up to 7.2 kilowatts of charging power. This is not huge, but yeah, if you drive the hybrid and charge it, for example, when you come back from the office, I guess you won't care too much if the vehicle needs 1.5, 2, 3 or 4 hours to be charged. So like 3 hours should be enough, depending on your wall box, of course. What else can we say? I like driving the car. I cannot tell you exact figures of our real-time fuel consumption and the reach or the range, the electric range. 63 kilometers is the WLTP range. We started our test drives with the vehicle with a fully loaded battery, and then the vehicle told us that it will be around 59 kilometers, and at the moment it looks like that we can drive 50 kilometers in the pure electric mode. We will of course test this out today, and I will let you know at the resume. However, we don't have enough time to really give you exact detailed figures of the range and the fuel consumption. This will be done with a later test when we have the car at home for longer testing. This was the first test drive of the all-new Mazda CX-60 Plug-in Hybrid. Thank you very much for watching. What's my opinion about the car? I like the style, I like the design. So it's truly a Mazda. It's a new family member, but not totally different from the other Mazdas. It's not the roomiest one compared to some other SUVs in the class, and in my opinion, the suspension is a little bit too stiff, especially when you consider an SUV like this as a comfortable family cruiser. There should be a little bit more comfort, and I would like to have an adjustable energy recuperation, which is not available here in the plug-in hybrid. But all in all, it's a nice car. It's a car with a nice equipment. And I'm also curious to drive the inline-six-cylinder engines once they come to the market in 2023 and 2024. Prices, I can only tell you the German prices, as I'm a German guy having read the German price list. The CX-60 plug-in hybrid starts at 74,390 euros. At the Prime line, then we have exclusive line Homura and Takumi. This test car, the Homura, with some options, costs around about 56,500 euros on the German market. Competitors of the CX-60 are, for example, the BMW X3, the Audi Q5, Mercedes-Benz GLC, and I would also say the DS7 Crossback E-Tense plug-in hybrid with 300 horsepower and all-wheel drive. Also, the Mazda is an all-wheel drive car. Let me know your opinion about the car, about the brand. I'm curious to read your comments. I will read them all and reply to most of them. Thanks for watching Asia Auto Ambassador, using it as your source for insights into cars from Asian brands. And I hope that you subscribe to the channel and you will also search for and follow Asia Auto Ambassador on Instagram. Thanks also to Matthias, the guy behind the camera, and see you soon. Bye bye.